Hello world, Andrew again, here again with another segment of the ecosystem. As mentioned earlier in my first video, where I explained about the ecosystem as a whole and the segments of an ecosystem, which I simply started with the forest ecosystem. And I'm back again with another segment of the ecosystem. And in this segment, I'll talk about the grassland ecosystem. So, again, without taking much of your time, let us go through what grassland ecosystems are all about. Thank you. To begin with, grassland ecosystem, these are areas where the vegetation is dominated by grasses and other herbaceous. I don't know how to pronounce that, or non-woody plants. Non-woody plants simply means those plants that do not have wood in them, like trees, shrubs, and so on. As seen in the picture below, that's what a grassland ecosystem looks like. Yeah. Moving on. As mentioned in the first ecosystem, grassland ecosystems also has types. The first type is a tropical grassland. Second one is the template grassland. Thirdly, we have the desert grassland. I think this is simply grasslands that are found in desert areas, for example, the Sahara, the Mexican deserts in California, or anywhere in the world where we have grass, which is found in the desert. And again, we have flooded grassland. I think these, according to my research, these are areas that are flooded with water or saturated with water and also have grass in them. So that's all about the types of grassland ecosystems. Moving on, the characteristic features of a grassland ecosystem. So the first feature, we'll talk about limited annual rainfall. Contrary to the forest ecosystem, in grassland there is a limited amount of rainfall. This is because there is low evapotranspiration from the plants to the atmosphere to form water rather. Sorry. The grass do not hold a lot of water in them, so it is hard for the atmosphere to get water from the grass in order to form the rain. Secondly, there is a dry climate throughout the year. The dry climate is a result of the failure of rain formation in the grassland due to lack of evapotranspiration or just evaporation on its own, just because most areas with grass are usually dry. Thirdly, we have lack of nutrients in the soil. Since most grasslands or most grasses don't have leaves, so it's hard for them to form nutrients in the soil, which is contrary to the forest ecosystem. Where in the forest ecosystems, we have leaves which fall during, I think, autumn time, and these leaves decompose and form nutrients. So it's way different with the grassland ecosystem, where we don't have leaves falling from trees and decomposing. So due to this, there's lack of nutrients in the soil. Thirdly, we have poor vegetative, or rather poor vegetation growth dominated by grasses. So there's not much of the vegetation in grasslands. Only the grasses are the things that are seen. Lastly, we have the grassland ecosystems are prone to drought and uncertain precipitation. Since there's low rainfall, so there's a lot of drought and uncertain precipitation in the grasslands. Yeah, so that's all about the characteristic features of the grassland ecosystem. Moving on to the functions of grassland ecosystem. Uh, Firstly, sorry, I did my research, but I only found minimal functions, so I'll only tackle two of the functions. Uh, Firstly, we have the grassland or the grass reduces leaching of nutrients due to low rainfall. Leaching is simply the washing down or washing away of nutrients in the soil. So the grass makes sure that this activity is avoided because due to the low rainfall that is found in the grassland ecosystem, uh, since there is no water for leaching, so leaching is not is not a thing there. Secondly, or lastly, grasslands are usually used to feed livestock. This is an obvious thing, I believe. A lot of people know that a lot of animals, livestock, farm animals feed on grasses. So simply farm animals or livestock feed on grass, whether dry or fresh. Yeah. Moving on to, I think, which is the last segment of the grassland ecosystem, is the structure of the grassland ecosystem. In the structure, as I introduced the ecosystem, it's more similar, where we have the producer organisms. The producers are simply the grass which is found in the grassland ecosystem, because they produce their own food from the sunlight using rather photosynthesis. And we have the consumers as well. So in the grassland ecosystem, it's not that we only find the grass, but other organisms, such as animals, and these animals are the ones which consume the producers, which is the grass. So, as mentioned earlier, we have the primary consumers, the secondary consumers, and the tertiary consumers. And lastly, as well, we have the decomposers. The decomposers are simply the microorganisms that feed on the animals that feed on the producers, which is the grass. And these microorganisms help in the activity which is called the decomposition of the dead matter which is found in the grassland ecosystem. This helps to regain, to strengthen the nutrient content inside the soils which are found in the grassland. So, reaching this far, I think I have to wrap it up. Uh, Thank you for listening. Till the next time, I'm out.